Oh, sorry. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the locker room. I got to put the music on because we're going to have a lot of. Now, the song that I played yesterday, I got a notice that said I didn't have the copyright on it. So they said I couldn't be monetized. So, I'm Nancy. It is 4 minutes after 3 on October 30th. Tomorrow is Halloween. Okay. So, we were going to go over I sat down to the computer, I'm sorry, over the Tyler Robinson court case today. But that court case has been rescheduled for either January 16th or January 30th because they're trying to determine if they want to let the media in the courtroom. So we don't know. I had to find something else to go over because I could have went over a bunch of stuff up until today, like them saying that he can wear his street clothes, but he still has to be handcuffed, and these kind of things. But that would make for very much of a video. So, anyway, we're gonna check back updates, through January, because that's 2 months away. I'm sure a lot more is going to happen between now and then. But the judge has given both sides ample time to put in their plea arguments over whether or not they should let cameras in the courtroom. So, okay. In the meantime, we're going to follow I have my sage back. My husband went back to work this morning, so I stole the sage out of his office. I will get more. Or I'll get another flavor. But it won't be what I had yesterday. Well, if it still stinks like that. Okay, so that's because I leave the door shut. Anyway, okay, so Church hasn't come home yet. We still don't know where he's at. Edward came in the other day. He had a hole on his arm right here, and it's starting to scab over, but he's got another hole like right beside of it, okay, this morning. And then today he's got a hole right here. And we're thinking that it's the cat next door because that cat will come in the house. When Church was here, he would come in the house and attack Church. So, I don't know. There's nothing you can do. That cat's been here longer than Edward. Edward's been here 2 years. That cat's been here, I don't know how many years. He was here before we moved here. Anyway, so let's get in with this. Today we're going to cover the Richneck Elementary Principal ignored warnings. 6-year-old had a firearm before pew-pewing his teacher. A 6-year-old shot his teacher in the kindergarten classroom or first grade classroom. In the first grade class. So let's get into the story. This is interesting to me. It might not be to you, and if it's not, please at least leave me a thumbs up for trying. And consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps get my videos out there. And leave a comment in the comment section because that helps get my videos out there as well. Alrighty, so we're going to go. Civil trial begins in $40 million lawsuit over 6-year-old student bang bang a teacher. I don't know if bang bang is the right word when it comes to a student and a teacher. Anyway, Uh, let me. We got a commercial. Sorry. I don't have enough subscribers.
Nearly 3 years after Virginia teacher Abby Zwerner was shot by her 6-year-old student, her $40 million lawsuit against the Newport News Public Schools has made it to trial. Officials say back in 2023, the 6-year-old brought his mother's handgun to Richneck Elementary School, where he intentionally shot Zwerner during her first grade class.
Female victim, she's been shot in the abdomen as well as a through and through into the hand.
Zwerner's lawyers argue the school's assistant principal at the time, Ebony Parker, failed to act after being told multiple times that day that the boy had a gun.
Ignoring multiple credible reports of a firearm not only violates protocol, but it puts all lives in danger.
In court yesterday, one teacher testified that when Parker did nothing, she checked the boy's backpack herself.
He was like balled up in his seat, and that is not normal for him. I said, "Can I have that bag?" And he said, "No, no one is getting that bag."
But police say the boy took the gun out of the backpack before the search, allowing him to access it later. Her attorney insists Parker fulfilled her legal duty and says Parker was required by law that day to oversee a state exam.
No one could predict this. No one could have seen this coming.
The student's mother, now serving prison time for child neglect, spoke to ABC News in 2023.
Do you feel in any way responsible for the shooting?
Yes, of course. That is my son, so I am, as a parent, obviously willing to take responsibility for him.
Zwerner said she needed multiple surgeries after the shooting and lost full use of her hand.
The trial is expected to last 2 weeks. It's unclear if Zwerner or Parker will take the stand.
Okay. So that gives us the gist of the story. The little guy had it in his backpack. Then I'm guessing put it in his pocket when she wanted to search his backpack. Now I don't know how he got it from here to here unless he had his coat on. Because it wasn't genuine. Could have had his coat on. I don't know. But I don't know how it happened. I was not there. But let's go a little. I'm going to change this music a little loud. Okay. I keep going back to the same song. I don't know why. It just seems to fit. So anyway, so now we're going to go to the next one, and it is with U.S. News. Okay, U.S. News. Principal ignored warning 6-year-old had pew-pew before bang bang. Virginia teacher Abby Zwerner. He has little pockets. Is that an excuse? He has little pockets. Is that an excuse? Okay. The former administrator, this is only commercials up here. The former administrator at Virginia School, where a 6-year-old student harmed his first grade teacher, ignored multiple warnings from staff that the child had a weapon. The victim's lawyer told jurors Tuesday as her $40 million civil trial began. Abigail Zwerner was left with a bullet lodged in her body after she was blasted by the tot in 2023 at Richneck Elementary School in Newport News, where former assistant principal Ebony Parker allegedly brushed off claims by Zwerner and 3 others that the boy was possibly carrying a weapon. Who would think a 6-year-old is going to bring a weapon to school and pew pew their teacher? Zwerner's lawyer, Diane Toscano, said in her opening statements Tuesday, according to Fox News, Dr. Parker's job is to believe that is possible. She made bad decisions that day. Toscano said of the January 6, 2023 harming. Is this all commercials? Yeah, that's all commercials. At 1:58 p.m., bang! Toscano dramatically told the jury, a bullet went through Abby's hand, then through her chest. This is Ebony Parker, the former vice principal of Richneck Elementary School. She is being sued by Zwerner for alleged gross negligence from Associated Press. Doctors were forced to leave the bullet inside Zwerner's body because of a greater risk to her health if they removed it, Toscano explained. But Parker's lawyer, Daniel Hogan, argued his own opening remarks that Parker couldn't have predicted what happened. Parker, who faces separate criminal charges in the shocking case, resigned after the debacle. She is also the only remaining defendant in Zwerner's lawsuit. No one could have imagined that a 6-year-old first grade student would bring a weapon into a school, Hogan said to the jury. You will be able to judge for yourself whether or not this was foreseeable. That's the heart of this case. Hogan claimed that it was easy to play the blame game after the fact once all the evidence had come out, but the law requires you to examine people's decisions at the time they make them. The defense attorney also maintained that in school settings, decisions are cooperative and collaborative in an apparent attempt to diffuse blame. Okay, if you have 3 teachers coming to the vice principal saying, we have a problem, the vice principal needs to take action on that problem. It is cooperative. 3 teachers are expecting the vice principal to cooperate, in my opinion. Multiple staffers testified about warning Parker about the child possibly having a weapon. Dr. Nina Farish, the director of human resources for the Newport News School District, testified that a few days after the happening, Parker confessed that she was told about the student carrying a weapon in his backpack just 90 minutes before he fired it. Okay. She should have done something 90 minutes before he fired it, in my opinion. Reading specialist Amy Kovac told jurors she heard Zwerner, 25, telling Parker inside her office that the boy threatened another student and was aggressive with a security officer at lunch. But Parker couldn't be bothered to even look up at the young teacher during the concerning conversation, Kovac told the jury. Parker told Kovac to tell Zwerner that if she was worried, she could call the child's mother and have him picked up, Kovac recalled. Now that's the wrong action. The wrong action. Okay. Kovac then approached the child asking, "Can I have the bag?" But he answered, "No, no one is getting that bag," Kovac recounted. So Kovac went back to Parker and told the vice principal about her own exchange with the child. Parker once again brushed it under the rug, Kovac testified. Well, he has little pockets, Kovac recalled Parker saying. Kovac tried to get Parker to take the claims seriously, adding that the boy could have hid the weapon in his jacket pocket. Just minutes later, Kovac recalled hearing a bang and then running straight to Zwerner's classroom, she testified. I walked straight to him, Kovac recalled, describing the boy with his legs kind of spread open, arms crossed, and coughed. Kovac said she held the boy by the wrist and used Zwerner's cell phone to call 911. A teacher's been shot, Kovac recounted, saying on the phone, I have the shooter. Send help. Jennifer West, another first grade teacher, reported to school administration and the school counselor that one of her students saw the boy with the weapon and a bullet after recess. That prompted Counselor Rolonzo Rawls to ask Parker if he could search the boy, but the vice principal told him they could search the child when his mom arrived, which would be soon, Rawls told jurors. I wasn't going to check him without permission, Rawls said. Zwerner's lawyer I was reading about 4 boys and a girl arrested for arson on a house fire. Okay. Zwerner's lawyer claimed that Parker did have the authority to search the boy. On Wednesday, Zwerner's sister, Hannah Zwerner, told jurors about how her teacher sibling has been more reclusive ever since the shooting. She's just not the person that she was. I feel like she's kind of lost her sense of direction, and in a way, she doesn't want to go out anymore. I don't talk to her as much as we used to, Hannah testified. She doesn't want to talk about things. She doesn't share them with us, the sister explained, according to a report by WTKR News 3. Parker is slated to go on trial next month in a criminal case charging her with child neglect. The boy's mom, Deja Taylor, was sentenced in 2023 to 2 years in prison for child neglect after the boy took the 9mm weapon out of her purse. Okay, that's all for that one. Now we're going to go to Jennifer Coffindaffer. She always has the cutest things to say. I like her as a person. I don't know her as a person, but I like her as a reporter. She's former FBI. She knows her stuff. I'm just going to put it that way. She knows her stuff. I wish I knew half of what she knows. Okay? I'm just not as smart as these people. All these people are better than I am. Okay? Anyway, Jennifer Coffindaffer, this is big. The mother of 6-year-old boy who harmed his teacher was just sentenced to 21 months in prison. Finally, the proper message is being sent to parents of the children who shoot their teachers. Responsible weapon ownership is a must if we are to thwart at least some school happenings. Her son climbed up her dresser and got her weapon. He brought it to school and shot Mrs. Zwerner. He is 7 now and has not been charged. This is the mother, this is the teacher. And the replies that came along with this. Finally, the proper message is being sent to parents of the children who harm their teachers. Tell me, how often does this occur? Let's see, it happened in Jonesboro, Arkansas. It happened in Colorado. It's happened in at least 15 schools that I can name in the last 20 years. Shall we go on? One time is one time too many, in my opinion. Okay, let's go on. The Crumbleys are now charged, but with manslaughter. Hopefully, the message will continue to be sent. And whoever David is, proud Zionist Jewish dad, socially moderate, fiscally compassionate, lover of Israel, die-hard Mets fan, leukemia warrior, severe WX lover. I don't know what WX is, okay? So let's go on. This is an interesting case. As someone who has followed law, I'll be watching this. If a child steals a weapon and uses it to hurt someone else, I can see child endangerment. But since they did not actively do anything which caused the boy to shoot the teacher, I don't see how manslaughter fits. It's a horrific situation. Don't get me wrong. Teachers should be able to teach safety. But speaking from a legal perspective, I'll be following this. By the way, I would never, ever own a weapon, even if there's a 1% chance of my child hurting someone, hurting himself. I wouldn't take that chance. The House of Crime podcast. Any parent who leaves a weapon around for a child to access should be charged minimally with child endangerment. Manslaughter, though not sure about that. I couldn't imagine owning a weapon and leaving it around for a child to get a hold of. Amen. David again. I hope that teacher is all right. It's going to take a lifetime for her to get over what happened emotionally. That's true. She was charged for a rug crime, though. They're talking about the mother. The mother was charged with a rug crime. Federal charge of using rugs, marijuana, while in possession of a firearm and false statements. Often, just like in the case of Al Capone, you find the charge that is legitimate that yields the most time, even if not directly connected to the substantive case. That's what happened. But for the school happenings, unlikely she would have been charged. She's saying if it wasn't for the school happening, she wouldn't have been. It's unlikely that she would have been charged. Suzanne Davis, this woman also used the same weapon to fire at the baby daddy 10 days prior. She had no remorse. She's a local here. POS. She deserves more time. She also failed 8 drug tests while out on bond, which violated that bond. Okay, apparently the mama has issues. The mother should be spending more than 21 months in jail. That kid didn't think the firearm was a weapon. He knew exactly what he was doing and wanted to basically unalive the teacher. The parents need to be accountable when they have violent kids. Shouldn't be allowed to go to school. Hold, please. Hold, please. Okay. I had to tell my son where I left his stuff. Okay. And then Debbie Aggie says 100% agreed. Haunted history, jaunts. I think I saw the mother was charged with using the devil's lettuce while using a firearm. That was the charge, not necessarily related to enabling her son access to the weapon. Is that correct? Either way, it's good to see some accountability by parents for their young child. She is the one that needs to be charged. I hope the 7-year-old is getting help too. The mother should be charged. Too many kids with access to weapons. So who is caring for this child now? Will he get the counseling he needs so he can grow up as a productive, law-abiding citizen? Probably not. Now, whoever this Darlene is, I can agree that we hope the child is getting counseling. But I can't agree with her saying probably not because she doesn't know. She's not there. Or she wouldn't be saying probably. Okay. All weapon owners should be held accountable for their children's actions regarding liability of weapon ownership. Over the years, there have been numerous unalivings. I don't think this is enough time. Isn't this the case where the child had a parent going to school with him every day, but then that stopped? I've got 39 years working with children and have never heard of a parent attending school with their child. Neither have I. Are any of the school staff facing penalties? Yes. The vice principal is being sued. Weren't some told the child had the firearm? Yes, but they went to the vice principal. Okay? So I could keep reading, but I'm not going to. The point is, I got a mosquito in here, I'm sorry. The point is, oh really? Amanda Panda says that her adopted mother did. So she went to school with me for a while. But you were never really a threat to others in school, to the best of my knowledge. Unless she was going to make sure you were going. Because 4th grade, so you were not a threat to other students and you were going to school. I don't know why. She would have gone. It wasn't my position. And I didn't know anything about it till this moment. Okay, next we're going to go to Court TV. And
it seemed like an attorney.
Okay, I couldn't find any footage from day one of the trial. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Don't slap me in the face. But I couldn't find any. So this is what I found was day 2.
When you first arrived at Richneck, talk us through what you did in that moment.
We immediately went to the front door of the school, hit the buzzer, knocked on the doors, couldn't get in. It seemed like an eternity for us was probably about a minute of banging on the door till I think a janitor or a security person opened the door for us.
Corporal, can you walk us through what happened as you walked through this door, room 11?
As we stepped through the door, there was a young child attempting to be restrained by a woman who I later found out was Amy Kovac, the reading teacher. We were quite taken aback.
I do not remember that happening. I don't guess I was ever told about it. I don't guess I was ever told about it. I'm sorry. Okay. No, I never heard about it. You'll have to tell me the story sometime. Okay. Prince Abner told to surrender Royal Lodge. Prince Andrew was stripped of all of his royal titles.
We didn't expect to see so young a suspect. She said that she had control of him, that the gun was in the back of the classroom and pointed that way. I immediately headed in that direction.
She says, yeah, she sat in class with me for quite a while. That teacher was then my teacher in 5th grade. Oh my goodness. Did you guys get along better in 5th grade? She knew what to expect. Okay. So, he's saying that she had the child restrained and told him that the weapon was in the back of the classroom. So, was it where other students could get a hold of it? Or was there another teacher guarding it? We don't know.
When I found the weapon on the floor, I called out that there was a gun, and I stood by.
Oh. That makes a lot of sense.
What findings and observations did you come to as a review of your materials related to the first incident of information conveyed to Dr. Parker?
My findings were that Dr. Parker did not take action that I think an assistant principal should have taken at that time. Hearing it the first time and not taking action, I don't know, what individuals were thinking at that time, but when it comes back up again, check the book bag, it's not there, but I'm getting reports that he has something in his pockets. That to me is a huge red flag. Take action. It's almost shocking the lack of action there, how things were not followed up on. It really does breach the standard of care.
You would agree that the first report that Dr. Parker received regarding JT was from Ms. Kovac?
Yes.
And Ms. Kovac investigated those reports before she went to see Dr. Parker, didn't she?
Correct.
Ms. Kovac did not confiscate JT's backpack?
She did not.
She did not remove JT from the room?
She did not.
And Ms. Zwerner did not confiscate JT's backpack, did she?
No.
And Ms. Zwerner did not remove JT from the room?
No.
Ms. Kovac didn't stop everything? Ms. Zwerner didn't stop everything? Ms. West didn't stop everything? And Mr. Rawls didn't stop everything, did they?
No.
I'm going to show you a video. See that picture of her? Or video, I should say?
Yeah.
What does that remind you of your sister for January 6, 2023?
Full of light and spark and just so outgoing and just silly.
Can you tell us about that light and add?
It looked like she was a very fun teacher to have for first graders.
Today?
It's still there. It is very dimmed. She's just not the person that she was. I feel like she's kind of lost her sense of direction in a way. Yeah, I think that she had a lot to be excited about, and she doesn't anymore.
Okay. So we can see how her own sister feels about the situation. Oh, shoot, this one was supposed to start later. All right, anyway. So, she said she knew there were problems in the home. I knew that. I knew that there were. I didn't know they were that expensive. They tried to keep a lot of things hidden from me because they're afraid I'd take it away. Okay, now we're going back to court TV. And it says first grader harms teacher. Civil trial, day 3. This was today, I think. Abigail Zwerner versus Ebony Parker. Okay, let's enlarge it. Volume. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. There we go. I think it took a few minutes.
Bye. Thank you for dinner.
You're welcome. I don't know why it's not playing.
Okay. All right. Are you ready to call your next witness and have the jury come in?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Very well. All right. You may bring in the jury.
Something's gonna happen in a minute. I guess they're waiting for the person that they called to be the next witness too. My ear is itching. I felt the flea on me earlier from my cat. I'm wondering if I got a flea on my hair.
No, you're all right. Wait, pull. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are going to proceed with the plaintiff's next witness.
Dr. Clarence Watson.
Let me get you stand here. Face the clerk. Raise your right hand.
Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
This way. May it please the court.
You may proceed.
Good morning, Dr. Watson.
Good morning.
Could you go ahead and introduce yourself to the jury and state your full name for the court reporter?
Yes, my name is Dr. Clarence Watson. Clarence Watson.
And you're a doctor in what?
Psychiatry, forensic psychiatry.
And doctor, you're here today because at some point we had asked you to evaluate our client, Miss Abigail Zwerner. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you, as a result of that evaluation, have come to some findings as it relates to her psychiatric condition. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And we'll get to that.
I thought forensic had to do with death. She didn't die. Came close to it. She thought she was going to. I don't know. I guess that falls under that. I don't know. I don't remember. From when I took psychology and social work.
That during your testimony, but we have to sort of check some boxes before we can get there. We can go to the IP vote. And so, this is a little roadmap of what we'll be talking about today, okay? We're going to talk about you to start. We'll talk about your experiences. Then we'll talk about the evaluation itself of Ms. Zwerner. Then I want to talk to you about this brain-body concept that may come out in that evaluation.
Yes.
And then I want to talk to you about your view and your prognosis for Ms. Zwerner's future. Sound good?
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about your experience. You said you're a doctor in psychiatry. Can you walk us through?
Another commercial, I guess.
Check this out. This stuff, no wiping, no washing. Just spray and watch it vanish. 3 seconds, guys. That's all.
I started out my undergrad degree at Temple University in Philadelphia, where I earned an economics degree. At the time, I was deciding between medicine and the law, and I decided that law was quicker.
My condolences.
So I went to law school. After undergrad, I graduated from Villanova School of Law. And then I decided that I was not done with this sort of science bug and the medical, my interest in medicine. And so I went into a post-bac program to take
Forensic related to or denoting the application of scientific methods and techniques to the investigation of crime. Thank you.
Take prerequisite courses to allow me to apply to medical school and successfully completed that, and then went on to Jefferson Medical College, where I graduated from medical school. After that, I went into internal medicine at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital, did my internship there, and then thereafter switched to general psychiatry and completed my residency in psychiatry at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Following that 4-year period, I then went into forensic psychiatry training in New York at St. Vincent's Hospital, the New York Medical College.
Could you talk to us about the...
That was a lot longer than a law degree. He went to law because it was cheaper, and then ended up going back into psychiatry only for the law. We went the long way around getting there. Kudos to you.
The distinction or the difference, if any, between general psychiatry, the 4 years, and then what you do in the 2 years of forensic psychiatry training.
Sure, and the training for forensic psychiatry fellowship program is 1 year, and so it's a total of training in psychiatry for me of 5 years. And the general training is learning everything that you need to know about mental health disorders. And so that spans across all age groups and genders. It expands across all mental health disorders, anxiety disorders, depressive disorders, psychotic disorders, developmental disorders in children and adolescents, geriatric issues and problems as well. And so that training involves treating individuals with these mental health disorders.
go that far in psychology. I don't remember none of that.
There's these populations, providing care for them and follow-up in different settings, sometimes in outpatient settings, sometimes in inpatient settings. And after completing that, I went into forensic psychiatry, and the difference there is that you learn how to apply your general understanding of psychiatric disorders in legal situations where a legal question is posed. So that might be in cases similar to the case today in civil lawsuits. It could also be involved in criminal cases around issues of mental state at the time of the offense and competence to stand trial.
And as part of those two areas of psychiatry, first we're talking general psychiatry and then forensic psychiatry, is there a board certification process?
Yes.
And are you board certified in general psychiatry?
I am.
And are you board certified in forensic psychiatry?
Yes.
And could you tell us just briefly what it means to be board certified in those fields?
Sure. What that means is that after your training, well, first you have to have all the requirements to be able to sit for a board examination, and that you've completed that successfully, and then you meet all of the standards in which is tested through examination to adequately go treat individuals in the community around mental health disorders. So there's a test you have to.
I'm not board certified in anything. Except culinary, but you don't have to be board certified for that.
To pass, to be board certified, and there's a stamp of approval that is given to you in those specialties.
And since you received that stamp of approval, have you been applying those both general psychiatric and forensic psychiatric skills and lessons?
Oh, yes.
And tell us about your clinical experience from the time of education to present.
Yes. So after my training in New York, I returned to Philadelphia, where I worked on the inpatient psychiatric unit at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. I continued my work there, also in outpatient treatment for individuals who were not admitted to the hospital, but had mental health disorders and difficulties in the community. After that, I moved on
I want to skip
to
ahead, but I don't know how far to skip.
oversee the forensic psychiatry.
Now, Dr. Watson, you mentioned previously that you had records that included medical records in her history.
Yes.
And when we say history, we're talking about before January 6, 2023.
That's correct, yes.
And then we're also talking about records since January 6, 2023.
That's correct.
And that included, her primary care doctor and some therapy records as well, correct?
Yes.
And you used those to gather information, and then you sat down with Ms. Zwerner, as you talked about.
That's correct.
What's the importance or significance of actually sitting down with somebody when you're performing a psychiatric evaluation?
Well, it's important to sit down with the individual if you are planning on reaching a diagnosis for that individual. And so reviewing the records alone is not sufficient. Sitting with an individual to evaluate them and ask them about their experiences, their symptoms.
Too quiet? Turn your sound from 100% to 600% with Power Sound. Just hit
of those experiences is important objective information. So part of the psychiatric examination is to observe the individual as they are sharing information about their symptoms. And the longer that you have with the individual to be able to do that, the better. And so with that, matching up whether or not what you were seeing in person and what they report to you in person is consistent with what you find in the records. And so that's why it becomes important.
And doctor, when you are going through this evaluation process for Ms. Zwerner, when you came to your final conclusions and opinions, did you have enough materials and information for you to make that clinical finding?
Yes.
That diagnosis?
Yes.
And can you share with us first what the diagnosis is, and then we'll break that down and explain how and why we got there?
Yes. The diagnosis is post-traumatic stress disorder, as well as a history of a depressive disorder and history of anxiety disorder.
So when you say history, and we sort of called on that word a little bit before, is part of your evaluation to try and determine whether somebody has had any experience in their life before the, what we'll call incident event?
Yes.
And why is that important?
Well, whenever conducting any psychiatric examination, you have to have a life course to understand where the person is today. And so to simply start off with where they are today is not sufficient. You have to start off way back to see what the source of the person's symptoms happens to be today. So the examination really begins with birth. The evaluation goes back, gathering all sorts of information about developmental history, whether or not there have been.
So blame the parents for what happens to you as an adult. That's not what he's saying, I'm just joking.
Traumatic experiences in that person's life up to that point, whether or not that person has a family history that makes them more prone because of genetic predisposition for certain mental health disorders, whether or not that individual has other factors that may be influencing their behaviors and the symptoms. For example, is that person using substances and addiction? Are those addiction actually more likely to be responsible for a person's symptoms than something that they're reporting? Has this person been abused in the past? How long did that abuse go? And so really diving into all of the things that might impact a person's today presentation becomes important. So looking at these historical factors gives us more ability to put into context what we see today.
And in your evaluation of Ms. Zwerner's history, were there any findings or observations that became relevant to your ultimate conclusions?
Yes.
Can you explain what those were?
Sure. Well, so I will start with, if I'm thinking about well, first I will start with the very early positive factors in Ms. Zwerner's life. And so she had a very positive upbringing. Not very traumatic in terms of her history. When she was surrounded by a very positive family, loving family, supportive to her and her needs and encouraging her in terms of her career and focus. There are no issues around substance use disorders or other problematic childhood developmental disorders. So all of that becomes very important background. There was nothing in terms of growing up with domestic violence or sexual assaults, sexual abuse, no childhood neglect. So we first start with that backdrop. And then noting when there appeared to be maybe some difficulty, some emotional changes and such. And so the first time in terms of the records that I had available to me was somewhere around 2018, where she started to, I believe it was 2016, when she started to express to her family physician that she was at least experiencing some depressive symptoms. At that time, not anything that raised anything major, but she at that time had a transition in life, and that was she was in college, a freshman, dealing with the stresses of being a college student. At some point, though, later on, 2018, the stress of college started to become a little bit more difficult, and her family physician treated her for depressive symptoms and anxiety symptoms. Those symptoms being tied to the stress of her academic activities, and that was clear in the records. What was also clear in the records was that even though she was having those symptoms, she was able to continue to function and was functioning relatively well. She was pursuing her degree and completed that successfully. She was actively social, had friends, did things, exercised regularly. And so she was overall doing well, and was being managed well with her family physician in terms of her treatment. Unfortunately, she then had a traumatic experience, one that I think many of us could relate to, which was a loss of her father unexpectedly in 2020. And of course, that was a traumatic experience for her and her family. And there was a period of grief and some difficulty around that grief. And fortunately,
That sounds normal, though. I mean, anybody who loses a parent is going to have a period of grief. It's just normal. It's all in how you get through the grief or learn to cope with the grief.
she was able to receive some grief counseling to get her through that period of time. She was also able to continue to start her work as a teacher shortly thereafter. As a matter of fact, if I'm remembering correctly, I want to say that her father passed away in, I want to say July of 2020, I believe, that summer at least. And then she was starting work in that fall. And she was able to do that despite her difficulties around losing her father. And the medical records were very good in documenting her progress during that time, her treatment, and her eventual improvement around the stresses related to that. So those were the major events, including the stress of being a brand new teacher and starting career after college, those sort of things, until we come to January 6th of 2023. I should note, though, that despite some of the symptoms related to her depression and anxiety leading up to that point, and it was very clear in the medical records that she was doing well and had a lot of improvement leading up to January 6, 2023. The records show
She's only been a teacher for 2 years, well, a full year and a half. So 20 to 21, 21 to 22. So she was in her third year.
that she pretty much had mild, if any, symptoms and was doing well overall.
And in terms of the timeline as you've laid out, the loss of her father, 2020, this event, January of 2023, is it, in your review of the records, did it appear that the grief was under control?
Yes.
And that she was operating and going out and returning to her normal self, if we call it that way?
Well, yes. I mean, even with the grief of her father closer to, his death, she was still involved in social activities. She was still involved in family activities. She was still very active, was not withdrawn, not isolative. She was not overwhelmed to the point where she was impaired in her normal functioning at that point.
So I want to transition now and talk about how, if at all, in your findings that changed as a result of January 6, 2023. So we mentioned the diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
And if we can just briefly explain to the jury so that it may help us frame it for them. The post-traumatic stress disorder is a condition that's explained in the DSM-5. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Could you tell us briefly what the DSM-5 is, what that means?
Sure. So the DSM-5 stands for the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. It's a 5th edition now, and there's a later text revision really refining the definitions around specific mental health disorders. And it is the primary text that mental health clinicians use to reach diagnoses so that we are all understanding the same language when we meet a patient and we diagnose that patient. It guides our treatment approaches to make sure that we're able to select the proper treatment for the individual, given the collection of symptoms that they're exhibiting at the time. And so the DSM for short is really our guide to diagnosing and treating patients with mental health disorders.
And what I have on the screen for us to look at is different letters. So we have post-traumatic stress disorder, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
And I've given them little subheadings. Are these subheadings sort of part, I know they're simplifications, but are they simplifications of what that guide tells you as a clinician in the field of psychiatry to look for if and when diagnosing post-traumatic stress disorder?
Yes, although there's one missing, and we can talk about that.
I can see, you can't see her picture. Back to it, just one more second. I can see right here, in January, the day that the incident took place, she was like this big around. I would say, I gotta have some. Okay, like this big around. I mean, she was a little bitty, teeny, tiny lady. And since this has happened, she has put on weight, and I imagine that's due to stress and depression. She's probably a stress eater. And I'm a stress eater. So I can understand that, putting on weight when you're stressed. There are some people that when they're stressed, they can't eat. I don't have that blessing. But I'm a stress eater. So you have to maintain it.
And in your review of her evaluation, does that check the box, so to speak, as it relates to the traumatic event?
Absolutely. It's almost, I mean, that's sort of a classic trauma.
So let's talk then about the re-experiencing or re-experienced. Tell us what that means in your world.
Sure. So what that means is that a person is what we call in DSM intrusive symptoms. So either there are distressing memories, distressing nightmares, distressing re-experiencing of events that related to the trauma that are intrusive. In other words, you're not actively thinking about the trauma, but it inserts itself, it pushes itself into your consciousness, even when you don't want it to, right? And so this is when you hear folks say, they've suffered flashbacks, for example, or they say that they had nightmares about the event or something similar to the event, right, in which they are in danger, and sometimes it is very specific and a reminder very clearly of imagery around the trauma itself. Sometimes it's not that. There are times where a person is in a nightmare where they are fearing their death or being attacked, and they're running and they're trying to escape something, and maybe it's not as clear. But the clear...
I've had that dream, only I was running towards somebody, and it was my second husband's sister. And I'd already been married to my third husband for 6 or 7 years. But I was having a memory dream, and I never actually, I never actually got into a physical fight with my ex-sister-in-law. Not that one. But in my dream, I was running through the house, chasing her, and I was going to beat the holy living you-know-what out of her. And my dad stopped me. So, when I woke up, I was actually laying on my side in my bed, running in the running motion. Really weird, but I've had that. And I don't know why it'd be. I know my second husband's sister and I did not get along at all. She threatened me I don't know how many times. But I'm still here. And to the best of my knowledge, she's still alive too. My second husband's not, but she is.
Clear piece about this is that those nightmares happen, or those intrusive events happen after the trauma. You don't expect to see those sort of things before. And so you look and say, okay, after the trauma, this person is suddenly having these distressing nightmares in which they're in danger. And they're related and associated with the traumatic event itself.
And in your evaluation of Ms. Zwerner, did she report having nightmares?
Yes, she did.
And you talked about some of these nightmares being specific and some of them being more general.
Yes.
How would you categorize Ms. Zwerner's reports of her own nightmares?
Her reports were more specific, yes. So she had some dreams that were related to being, feeling like she was not safe. But generally, she had dreams about the student who shot her. She had dreams about the student's expression, facial expression, as a blank stare as he pulled the trigger. She had dreams about being in the school and the student being there. No one else is in the school, and the student following her, and she tries to escape, and then he finds her in a closet somewhere while she was hiding. She had another nightmare about another student who somehow, I think, was involved in one way or the other, but that student was harmed, and so this gruesome sort of imagery in which that student was found dead. And so her sleep had been disturbed by the pressing of the psychological
that could have been, if she had been told about the student that actually held the weapon. What did they call him? JT? Okay, if she had heard about JT threatening the other student at lunch recess, it might have, in her post-traumatic stress, it could have brought in a dream that it could have brought in a dream that she was in fear for that child, as opposed to being in fear for herself. Hold, please.
Distress that she's under, thinking about this trauma or dealing with this trauma, that it pushes into even her dreams, and this is how we understand those nightmares.
And you mentioned earlier that your more recent discussion and sit down with Ms. Zwerner was in July of this year.
Yes.
And in July of this year, did she report whether those nightmares were still occurring?
Yes. I want to say that I think she said something along the lines of over the previous few months, she had at least 3 of those nightmares.
And when we talk about having intrusive symptoms and these coming to her in the night, and you mentioned intrusive is, even when you don't want them to.
Right. When something's your attention's not necessarily distracted. You could be driving down the road and then this comes to you. And you're re-experiencing having a memory of this traumatic event, and usually with that comes a physiologic response, right? A person starts to feel some degree of heightened anxiety, heart might be racing. In Ms. Zwerner's case, she felt shallow breathing, body heaviness, and racing, heart racing, palpitations. These are the sort of things that you would expect.
And we talked earlier in your roadmap about the brain and body.
Yes.
Is this physiological response part of what happens when you have a condition like post-traumatic stress disorder?
Yes. We tend to have this artificial division between the brain and the body. It's all connected, right? So all of us are sitting right here. Our brain right now is keeping us alive, right? You're not thinking about your heart beating, but guess what? Your brain is making it happen, right? You're listening to me right now. There are all sorts of things that you might feel. Something that if you have your own traumatic experiences might remind you of something. You might feel a little anxiety and such, right? Viscerally, you can feel it. It's not just thoughts. And so for individuals who are suffering from severe post-traumatic stress disorder, this becomes a real thing that can even be paralyzing for individuals. So it feels like they have to freeze. They can't move. They're in such fear state, right? So even if rationally they say, I'm not in danger right now, I can continue, the body might respond as if there is a real imminent threat, and then your body goes into a fear response physiologically. It prepares for danger. And so this is where we talk about the shallow breathing, the heart racing, and she might be just sitting watching television and this comes to her.
And that may be, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, but is that what leads us, and let me start here, re-experiencing that in the guidebook was found
intrusive, yes,
found in your evaluation?
Yes.
And when we talk about how these things can be sometimes even paralyzing, does that relate at all to the next finding as it relates to avoidance?
Yes. So because of the re-experiencing, there are times where you might not be just sitting and not doing anything, and then it comes to you, and these negative memories related to trauma come to you. But there are situations in which they may be triggered by specific reminders in your environment, and then it takes you to those intrusive thoughts, right? So you're sitting and you have this trigger that is a reminder. Let's just say for Ms. Zwerner, one of her triggers happens to be seeing individuals with their hands in their pocket, right? What are their hands doing in their pocket? Well, the last time she was in danger, real danger, and her life was threatened, someone held their hands in their pocket for a very long time before she was shot. And so seeing individuals in the community or large crowds or something like this may be triggering to the point that you have a re-experiencing of these this earlier traumatic event. And so to avoid that, as we all try to do, avoiding things that make us feel uncomfortable or distress us, then for Ms. Zwerner, the avoidance symptoms will be, I'm going to avoid those things that will cause me psychological distress. So I'm going to avoid schools. I'm going to avoid watching television shows that have classroom settings. I'm going to avoid.
Okay, I think we got the gist of post-traumatic stress, and that this expert feels that she does suffer. Let's go. We just had a break because I skipped past it. She doesn't look happy. That's the vice principal, the former vice principal. Have you ever had one of those dreams where in your dream something's happening and you, like, let's say out of the blue, you need an ink pen, okay? Have you ever had one of those dreams that seemed like it was so real that when you woke up from that dream, you were actually walking across the room to go get that ink pen that you needed? I had that happen just the other night. When I woke up, I was heading out my sliding glass door in my basement, past my dogs that were laying in their crates, past my husband laying in the bed, and I was heading out my sliding glass door to go get an Allen wrench. It didn't take me long to wake up once I got that door open and the cold air hit me in the face. But I was like, what the heck? I don't know what I needed the Allen wrench for. By that time, I'd forgotten. But I just went back to bed. But I thought it was weird. And this could be what kind of, I'm not saying I have post-traumatic. I don't. To the best of my knowledge. But that could be something that happens in her post-traumatic dreams, is that she can wake up, running away from or running to the aid of another person during the situation.
You may be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we had to handle some matters. Those are taken care of, and we are now ready to proceed with the plaintiff's case. Call your next witness.
Abigail Zwerner, Your Honor. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, today? Yes.
Wonder if she's pregnant. She kind of looks that way.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Abby, can you tell the jury your name, please?
My name is Abigail Zwerner.
And Abby, how are you feeling right now?
I think nervous is a big one. Nervous, anxious, a lot.
And Abby, the jury's already heard a little bit about yourself from your mother and your sister. So just tell the jury, how long were you a teacher?
About 2.5 years.
And where did you teach at during that 2.5-year period?
Richneck Elementary.
Tell the jury what grades you taught.
I came into 4th grade, my first year of teaching. That was when we had the virtual hybrid year. And then the following 2 years, I taught 1st grade, all at Richneck.
And how did you enjoy teaching?
I liked it. I do remember it was stressful a lot of times. Being a new teacher, a lot of new experiences, a lot of ups and downs, I remember. Yeah.
And now, Abby, I'm just going to ask you a few questions about January 6, 2023, okay?
Okay.
So tell the jury, when on that day did you first hear about JT might have a gun?
It was before recess.
And do you remember who told you that?
Amy Kovac.
And when Amy Kovac told you that, why did you not go to Dr. Parker?
I knew that she was going to tell Dr. Parker.
Did Amy tell you she was going to tell Dr. Parker?
Yes, she told me that she was going to tell Dr. Parker.
And did Amy tell you that 2 girls had advised her of the fact that JT might have a firearm?
Yes.
Do you know who the 2 girls were?
I did not.
So she didn't even tell you which kids in the class had told her that?
She did not tell me.
And no other kids told you?
No.
Okay. So you heard it from Amy, and Amy said she was going to tell Dr. Parker at that time?
Yes.
Were you told to keep an eye on JT by Amy?
Yes.
And is that why you were texting and communicating with Amy during recess?
Yes.
And is that why you texted Amy about what you observed JT doing before recess?
Yes, because I knew that once Amy had informed me of the information that the students had told her, I knew that Amy was going to then relay the information to Dr. Parker.
And again, no one else.
Which was the proper chain of events. Because had this teacher gone to Dr. Parker and said, so-and-so told me, and if Dr. Parker would have just blown it off as she did, then Dr. Parker would have had it was hearsay alibi, rather than the teacher who had been told directly of the incident going as it happened, as like Amy going to Dr. Parker. So that happened in the proper order, in my opinion. I'm not a doctor or a law officer.
Else had told you anything about a gun besides Amy?
Correct.
And Your Honor, I would like to publish and pull back up what's already been submitted as Plaintiff's Exhibit 3, if that's okay with Your Honor.
Which is that?
That is the picture yesterday of Abby wearing a shirt. Oh, 90C. Is it 90C? I'm being corrected that it's Plaintiff's Exhibit 90C, Judge.
Okay. Any objection to that?
No objection.
Right. It's already been admitted, correct?
Yes, it's already been
All right,
admitted,
got
Your
it.
Honor.
Yep.
And Abby, do you recognize that photo? It's on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
And what year is that from? Do you know?
I have slightly orange hair. Looks like it's washed out. So it would have been the 2022-2023 school year.
Okay, so you're in your first grade classroom, room 11?
Yes.
And if we can zoom in on the orange sheets that are behind your head, do you see those?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell the jury what is that?
That would be our handbook, our school's handbook. I believe it was titled the Crisis Management Plan. I may be wrong on the title of it, but it was the Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3.
So that's the school, that's a handbook that you would reference?
Yes.
And why would you reference that sheet?
For the behaviors, it was like a left and right side.
And why would you look at that, the left and right side?
The like possible displayed behaviors on the left, and then on the right side, actions to take as a teacher.
And Reed, if we can only display to council, please, Exhibit 108, and it would be date stamp 9074 and 9075. Thank you.
I don't even know who thought of getting me this, but it's genius. It's 2025, and some people are still using battery lights.
Do you recognize those two documents?
Yes.
And what are those two documents in front of you?
The on the left and the right side, it looks like the three. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the combined on the one sheet of paper that I had on the orange sheet of paper, like the level 1 behaviors, and then on the right side of the screen, level 2, and then level 3 behaviors. I had that all on one sheet of paper, the orange paper on the wall.
So the exhibit that we just showed to the jury, the box that you had of the 3 tiers, is from this document?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, I would move to submit this document as Plaintiff's 108, and we would mark it as 108.
All right, any objection?
Object, Your Honor. This witness can't authenticate. This is a handbook from Richneck Elementary. She's not an employee. She can't authenticate the document.
No, she's identified it. That's overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so admitted.
Thank you.
Plaintiff's 108.
May I have permission to publish it to the jury, please?
You may.
Thank you. And Abby, we're now sharing this with the jury, so can you tell them again where this section 3 came from?
The Richneck Elementary School handbook.
And the chart that the jury is seeing on those 2 pages, is that what was combined into one chart in the photo that we had just previously showed the jury?
Yes.
And can we publish to the jury Exhibit 90C? Is it 90C? Thank you. And if we can zoom in, that orange piece of paper behind your head is what has the chart on it with the Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 behavior.
Yes.
And then if we can zoom in on the Level 3 behaviors on the second part of the screen, please read. And do you see what's on the screen at this time?
Yes. At the top it says Level 3 behaviors immediately reported to the school security and or an administrator.
And in the student behaviors, is there a possession of a weapon listed?
Possession of a weapon.
And then next steps, that's for the administrator to do, correct? That was your understanding?
Next steps.
And if we, on this date, Amy Kovac went and reported it to Dr. Parker, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And we can take that down from the screen now. Thank you, Reed. So Abby, now tell the jury, what did you see right before you were shot that day on January 6, 2023?
The moment went by very fast. I remember Dr. Watson touched on it briefly earlier. The look on the student's face is a large memory that I have. I do remember it was like a very blank look, but it wasn't a blank look at all on his face.
And is that why you lifted your hand? Did you know what was about to happen?
Yes. Yep.
And what is the last thing you remember that day at the school?
The last thing I remember at the school. Obvious, I thought I was dying. I thought I had died. I thought I was either on my way to heaven or in heaven, but then it all got black, and so I then thought I wasn't going there. And then my next memory is I see 2 coworkers around me, and I process that I'm hurt, and they're putting pressure on where I'm hurt.
And Abby, can you describe for the jury a little bit about how you're still feeling physically and emotionally? And I know that's a big question.
Physically,
you describe how it is with your left hand still? The things you can and can't do, even to this day?
Sorry, I was muted. In my opinion, it's taken her too long to answer these questions.
So Abby, can you tell the jury when we have lunch together, are you able to open your potato chips, or do I open your potato chips for you?
I asked you, we had, we catered sandwiches in a box and a small bag of chips and cookies were catered, and I was trying to open the bag of chips on my own multiple times, different ways, trying to hold it different ways, and I eventually asked you to open it. It's the same thing with water bottles. Overall, I would say I do struggle with things, doing things.
And for example, we heard from your sister yesterday, and she described a change in your relationship with not only her, but friends. Are you able to explain a little bit to the jury about how you feel maybe those relationships have been changed?
The best I can explain it, it's like I still feel connected and close, but it's also that feeling of distance, a little numbness, and it's like I know I trust the person I'm with. You know, I love them, I know them, but there's something that's just different. I can't necessarily put it into words.
And what about, we heard from your mother about the movie Hamilton. You were planning to go to it that day. What happened that changed your mind when you had already purchased the tickets and made those plans?
It was a Saturday. I remember waking up. I woke up and I remembered that there was a scene where two characters had dueled with firearms, and when we had started making the plans to see the movie, when the Saturday was coming up to see the movie, it just never flew through my mind. I had seen Hamilton before, but for some reason when I woke up that day to go see the movie, it just flew right into my head, and just overwhelming sense of, I felt like everything just came over my body. And I remember I called my mom. I don't remember if I was crying on the phone to her. I don't remember if it was afterwards, but I remember crying a lot. And I remember that afterwards, they were asking me what else would I want to do instead that day. So, okay, we can't go to the movies. What do you want to do instead? Where else would you want to go instead? And I remember saying or telling them, nowhere. Like, I can't go anywhere. I just want to stay home. I'm not going anywhere today. I can't. And I remember that it was my mom and my sister. So it wasn't just my mom and I planning to go. It was my mom, my sister, and I, all three of us planning to go. And then they proposed to come over to my place. And even that still, I didn't want. Like, no. Like, just leave me alone. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to. No. To my mom and my sister.
Well, Abby, I know this has been difficult for you, so that's all the questions I have. I appreciate it, okay? Thank you. But stay there. Maybe other questions.
Thank you. All right, cross-examination.
My calls may take a little bit of time. I don't know if we're going to try to get through before lunch.
I'm sorry?
My calls might take a little bit of time. Let's get it started.
Yep.
Ms. Zwerner, I have a few questions so that we can make sure the jury understands the whole picture. You've been working as a teacher for a few years at the time of the incident, is that correct?
Yes.
And you had a number of children in your class with some academic issues?
Yes.
You had some children in your class with behavioral issues, is that correct?
I faintly remember.
And when you were dealing with student misbehavior, you would start by talking with the student, is that correct?
Most likely, yes.
And if you needed help, you would ask for guidance or coworkers or administrators to help, is that correct?
Yes.
You would go to Dr. Parker at times, correct?
At times.
You would email her, true?
Yes.
You'd walk in her office.
Yes.
And if necessary, we'd get the guidance counselor to take the student to Dr. Parker's office.
At times.
And Ms. West was another first grade teacher. She was across the hall from you, correct?
She was.
Lead first grade teacher. Sometimes go over there if you needed to speak with her. You had a phone in your room?
Yes.
And you could call a parent on the phone in your room?
I don't think I've called a parent during the day.
But you could if you needed to.
Yes. Yes, I had a classroom phone.
And you could call the office.
Yes.
Mr. Coleman, can you please show to the witness and counsel Exhibit 90A? Yes, sorry, Defense 90A.
That is plaintiff's 90A, is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
No. She said defense 98 to me and then plaintiff to you, so I just want the record to be clear.
Oh, Defense 90A.
All right. Is that in evidence?
Not yet.
Okay.
Ms. Zwerner, I'll give you a minute to look at this document.
Are these from me or someone's messages to me?
Is your phone number 804-424 or 804?
So they're from me?
That's a text from you.
Okay. Yes.
Have you had a chance to look at the?
Yes, I read them.
Is that a text you sent on October 15, 2021?
If that's what it's dated, yes.
And you sent it to Rosalie List?
Yes.
And Ms. List taught with you at Richneck, correct?
Yes.
Was she another first grade teacher?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd move to admit Defense Exhibit 90A and publish to the jury.
Any objection?
Your Honor, I would just object. I don't see how it's relevant. This is from October 2021. It's not regarding JT or the year that this happened or the date of the offense.
Yeah, how is this relevant?
It's relevant. If the court will let me explore with her, we can sidebar and I can tell you, but I don't want to obviously do that before I question her about it.
I need you to state why you believe it's relevant.
The text is a text about evacuating the classroom when she felt that she was in danger, that she had done that before.
That's quite what it says, but you can read it, Your Honor.
I think the bottom one is relevant to that, but the top one isn't. So, I mean, I'll overrule the objection as to the bottom one if we redact the phone numbers and then redact the top text.
Your Honor, just pending whatever ruling you make, can we ensure that this remains public known to the witness because it does have private phone numbers that I don't think need to be
Correct. So if we could just post that as it's highlighted there, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I was not aware of any court ruling about redacting text messages.
Well, phone numbers.
Or phone numbers.
Yeah, phone numbers from
Okay.
the text need to be, yeah.
We can redact it before it's submitted.
Okay.
Am I allowed to publish it to the jury before?
Yes, if it goes up exactly like that. Okay.
Ms. Zwerner, do you recall an incident the year prior with a student named Q?
I don't.
Do you recall you had a student in your class named Q who you felt in danger of and you had to evacuate your classroom?
I don't. I remember a student with the name Q, but
Norwex is leading the way in the clean green revolution, reducing chemicals in the home with superior microfiber and water alone. So what exactly is microfiber, and why is it so great for cleaning? The short answer? Microfiber is a blend of ultra-thin polyester and nylon fibers. This makes microfiber infinitely better for picking up debris than an average cotton rag. Now, there's microfiber, and then there's Norwex microfiber. The difference starts with the exceedingly fine nature of our fibers.
Evacuation.
So, Ms. Werner, if you see on the text, had to evacuate my room early for lunch.
Yes.
And that was because of Q, wasn't it?
Yes, I read that.
And you recall, does that refresh your recollection?
I don't recall what happened.
Mr. Coleman, can you publish to the witness and counsel Defense Exhibit 91D?
I just got a message that Limp Bizkit, Sam Rivers, passed away in a blood-stained bathroom. His wife found his body. There's a lot of musicians passing away this month. Wow.
Have you had a chance to review? Is that also a text message from your phone that you sent?
Yes.
And you sent it on December 15, 2022 at 5:22 p.m.? And that was a few weeks before the events that bring us here today. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you sent it to Jen West, Anissa Miller, and Kristen Ayers, correct?
Yes.
And they were other first grade teachers.
Yes, they were.
And in this text, you told them that you were sorry for crying.
Your Honor, I'm objecting at this point. There was pretrial rulings about fire acts pursuant to Rule 404, Your Honor. This isn't relevant as well. If you can look at the text that's on the screen before Your Honor, we would be objecting.
All
on all
right,
those
so
bases.
there are two separate texts, so let's just start with the top one. Right, how is that relevant?
It's relevant to credibility of the witness in terms of statements about, the jury's heard evidence that Dr. Parker didn't look at her, so this is probative of that evidence that's in court from this plaintiff's own mouth.
From December 15th of 2022?
A couple weeks before the shooting.
No, I'm going to sustain that objection. All right, and then you have a separate argument on the bottom one, or is it, I'm sorry, let's start with the objection first. Is that to relevance as well? Or have you even gotten to that second one?
I had not gotten to
Okay.
the section.
Okay, so on the top one, I'm going to sustain the objection. All right, are you going to go to the bottom one, or did you just want the top one?
I want the bottom one.
Okay, all right, let me see that. Same objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is it the same date? I couldn't see the date.
It's the same date, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Again, it's about a completely separate incident.
Okay, I can understand that. Because what happened prior to Christmas break and the actions of whatever the vice principal did prior to Christmas break, if this teacher had gone and talked to her about any student, would have no relevance in what happened the day of January 6th when they came back from Christmas break. And we're back in school. The one could not have anything to do with the other.
Your Honor, the jury's heard testimony from Ms. Kovac and others about Dr. Parker not looking at her on January 6th, and Ms. Kovac made comments about Dr. Parker not doing certain things. This is a text message from Ms. Zwerner discussing feedback from Dr. Parker. It's directly relevant.
To what?
Credibility of the witness. It's probative of actions taken on the day of, which they've been able to place in evidence.
No, I'm going to sustain the objection. It's not relevant. It's on December the 15th. All right.
Ms. Werner, there was an incident with your cell phone on January 4, 2023, correct?
Yes.
And it involved the student JT, correct?
Yes.
And he threw your phone in the classroom?
He slammed my phone to the ground.
And it broke the screen protector?
Yes.
When he did that, you took him by the hand, correct?
Yes.
And you removed him from the classroom?
Yes, I brought him to Miss West's classroom across the hall.
And you asked her to call guidance, correct?
Call for yes.
And Mr. Rawls came?
I asked her to call for help on her walkie-talkie, and Mr. Rawls and Miss Palladini came.
Okay, so Ms. West could call for help on the walkie-talkie?
Yes, she had a walkie-talkie. I did not.
Okay. And Mr. Rawls came?
Yes.
And he removed JT from the classroom?
Yes.
And he was suspended for 1 day for that, correct?
Yes.
I'm out here in the woods, and you gotta see this. It's the new Patriot Power Generator 2000X, a
Yes.
Okay, that was my husband calling. The reason he called was because I had just gotten a text message from our town, well, it was actually from Wichita News, over something that happened in our town. This morning, when I was taking Butch to his truck so that he could leave for work, we pulled in, got right next to the truck, and he decided he needed to go to the bathroom because he had had scrambled eggs with Mexican meat and salsa and cheese and all that for breakfast. Okay, so I had taken him home so he could go to the bathroom. And when we come back, all around Butch's truck. Well, he parks his truck here, and then right here is a road that kind of curves around like that. It goes in a curve like that, okay, around his truck. He parks his truck right here in the curve because he's in the feedlot where the feed and grain store is. There's a house right across the street from where he parks his truck. And when we got back to his truck for him to put his groceries in the truck and that sort of stuff, there was all kinds of police officers there, and you couldn't go down that road. There was like 6 police cars, lights and everything there. And the cops were walking around with flashlights and going up to this house. And I just got a text message that it was a news broadcast. That house across the street from his truck had been the victim to a drive-by shooting. The house and the car and the lady's car had been shot in a drive-by shooting. And I sent Butch the link to the news story, because had that driver aimed out the other direction or been going in the other direction when they shot, could have very possibly shot up Butch's truck. His 18-wheeler. And he said that he's going to, next time he stops, he's going to check the look down the side of his truck to make sure everything's okay. So, of course, he has a different trailer already because he had to be at 10 o'clock this morning. He had to be up in Olathe to pick up a load going to Pennsylvania. So he's on his way to Pennsylvania. But it was very close to home. I mean, it's crazy. We live about a mile away from where he parks his truck. And we had just gone home long enough for him to go to the bathroom. We picked up his camera case because I had forgotten his camera. Picked up his camera case and got back in the truck. We weren't gone 10 minutes. We got there, got home, or got back to his truck, and the cops were all there. It's crazy. The things that's going on right now. It's crazy. Oh my goodness. I'm thankful we were not sitting there when it happened. God prevents people from getting harmed.
His mother brought him into class,
Yes.
and she apologized for what JT did.
Yes, he did as well.
He did as well?
Yes.
And he offered to pay for the screen protector.
Yes. Casual conversation.
You did not notice anything off about JT when he first arrived at school on January 6th.
I did not.
Now, your class went to lunch around 11:15 to 11:45, is that correct?
Yes.
And we've heard about an incident with JT in the lunchroom, and you personally went to Dr. Parker about this incident, correct?
Yes.
And to be clear, when you went to Dr. Parker about this this incident, you did not report to her anything about JT having a weapon.
No.
So you went back to your classroom after you left Dr. Parker's office?
From my memory of that day, yes, but throughout this week I have learned some things.
Do you recall going back to your classroom at some point before recess?
Yes.
Ms. Kovac was in your classroom?
Yes.
And you learned from Ms. Kovac that 2 of your students said JT had a gun in his backpack.
I don't remember if Miss Kovac told me who. She did not tell me which students. But yes, Miss Kovac did tell me that students told her that the student brought a gun with him to school.
Did you ask Ms. Kovac who the 2 students were who had reported this?
I don't remember if I did or not.
Did you take measures to speak with the 2 students who had reported this?
No, I knew that Miss Kovac spoke to them.
And you did, they were students in your class?
Yes.
And you didn't feel the need to speak to them yourself?
I knew Miss Kovac had spoken to them, and I trusted Mrs. Kovac.
But you don't know what Miss Kovac said to those students, do you? Or if she said anything to the students?
I trusted Miss Kovac. She has 20, 30 years of teaching experience over my 2.5 years.
So Miss Kovac stayed in your room for a while, didn't she?
Yes.
About 30 minutes.
Yes.
And she spoke to JT about what the students said, right?
I don't recall specifically.
You were in the classroom when this happened.
I was.
And Ms. Kovac was loudly talking to JT.
I could not hear what she was saying.
Did you, knowing that you'd gotten this information that your student might have a gun, did you go speak with him?
I did not. Miss Kovac was with him.
Did you, Ms. Kovac was in your classroom? So you had coverage in your classroom? Because Ms. Kovac was in there and she had 20 to 30 years of experience, right?
Was that a question?
It was a question.
Could you repeat that, please?
Ms. Kovac was in your room when you
Hi,
found out
H.
that
Davis.
JT might have a weapon. You had coverage in your classroom. Did you go back to Dr. Parker and say, oh, there's been a change. Now there's a report that he might have a weapon?
At that time, no. Miss Kovac was in my room investigating the
I'm
situation.
doing well, thank you.
She was observing the student, sitting next to the student.
Are you doing okay? I have a fly in here, a mosquito or something. Little bitty and it's flying around. Rub me now. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
And at that time, I'm trusting Miss Kovac.
Did you remove JT from your classroom as you had done 2 days prior when you took him by the hand and took him out?
No.
Did you remove his backpack from the classroom?
No.
Did you search his backpack?
No.
Did you go back to the security officer in the lunchroom
No.
who had left, I guess left a little bit after this time? Is that right, about 12 o'clock?
I don't know.
Instead, you proceeded to teach a lesson before recess, is that right? And Ms. Kovac team taught that lesson with you?
I don't remember.
So Ms. Kovac has stated that she taught a lesson on Pocahontas with you. You don't remember that?
No.
And eventually Ms. Kovac left the room, correct?
Yes.
And did you say, don't leave, please stay?
She left to tell Dr. Parker that there was a potential of a gun on the student.
But you don't know what she said to Dr. Parker, do you, Ms. Zwerner?
I knew that she left to tell Dr. Parker what the students had told her.
But you don't know what Ms. Kovac told Dr. Parker?
Her specific words, no ma'am, I was not there with
You were
her.
not party to that conversation.
Correct, I was not.
And when she left, did you ask her to stay or to remove him from the room or to remove his backpack from the room?
No.
Now, we've heard that you saw JT go.
Now, this cross-examiner is doing her job. I mean, trust me, she's the defense attorney. She's doing her job in cross-examining and trying to make this teacher look like she's the guilty party. But I don't believe she was the guilty party. I believe she did everything as she did, proper. The one teacher left to take care of the situation and report the situation. She stayed there to try and make everything seem as normal as possible and protect the student that harmed her and the other students in the class at the same time. I think everything went, in my opinion, the way it should have gone. It went the way I would have handled it just the same way. That's what I'm saying. I would have done the same thing.
Go to his backpack at some time before recess? And did you go personally convey this information to Dr. Parker?
I texted Ms. Kovac.
My question is different. Did you seek measures, did you yourself convey this information to Dr. Parker?
No.
So you took your class to the playground, correct?
Yes.
And you were out on the playground with 2 other first grade classes and teachers?
Yes.
Jen West and Kristen Ayers?
Yes.
Ms. West, she's the one with the walkie, right?
Yes.
When you got out,
If you're over 50 and you're not dermaplaning, you're making a big mistake. You can get rid of fine lines and wrinkles.
I don't remember.
you don't remember?
No, ma'am.
So you shared with Ms. West and Ms. Ayers what you had learned about JT, correct?
Yes.
And you observed him on the playground?
Yes.
And Ms. Kovac came out on the playground at some point, correct?
I don't remember that. I
don't remember? And you had left the playground before while the other teachers were out there. We talked about that in your deposition. So did you leave the playground to go back in the building to personally provide information to Dr. Parker?
No.
Did you question JT about anything that you had heard?
No.
And at some point, Miss West left the playground.
Yes, right before we went inside.
And why did she leave the playground?
To my understanding, something with one of her students.
And did she ask you to shepherd her class and your class into the building?
Yes.
And how many students would that be?
Around 40, maybe.
Because Ms. West needed to go deal with another student discipline issue.
Yes.
Did you say to Ms. West, hey, I can't take your class in. I've got my own problems here. I've got an issue with a student who might have a weapon.
No, because at that time I knew that Amy had told administration, Dr. Parker. I honestly didn't think twice. It was my understanding that administration wouldn't think twice as well
Ms. Zwerner,
when alerted about a potential gun in school.
But you could have taken measures yourself at that time, correct?
Yes.
And you don't know what Amy Kovac said to Dr. Parker, do you?
Exact words, I don't.
So you shepherded 40-some students in the building?
Yes.
JT was in the midst of those students, correct?
Yes.
You had the children line up on the wall out of your classrooms?
Yes.
And you went into the class?
Yes.
And you did small reading group?
Yes.
You still hadn't removed JT from the classroom?
No.
And you recall that his backpack was next to his chair?
Yes.
Ms. Werner, at some point on January 6th, did a student named R tell you that JT had a gun?
No.
You don't recall saying, save it for later, or sit down to that student?
No.
That didn't happen?
No.
And the first time you saw JT with a gun, he was at his desk, is that correct?
Yes.
The first time you saw a gun that day?
Yes.
And when you saw that, you were shocked?
Yes.
Because you didn't expect to see that, did you?
It was a real gun. Yes.
Is there a point where you didn't think he might have a real gun?
Well, the whole day I was contemplating it could be real, but it also could not. When you hear the word, he told students he brought a gun with him to school. there is that possibility.
Ms. Werner, you were asked about the staff handbook. Can you pull up, it's, what exhibit is this? Is it
108.
108? 108? Zwerner 9074. Mr. Coleman, the top paragraph. Ms. Werner, do you see the third paragraph? Can we publish to the jury? I think it's in evidence.
This is just a cover. That's all we can see.
One oh eight. Here's page 7, I think.
This is taking a long time. They're not getting anywhere.
I can see it, yes.
Your Honor, may we publish it to the jury since it's already in evidence?
But this is your version, right? Your copy of it? Or
No,
it is the plaintiff's?
It's the
very well.
plaintiff's, Your Honor.
Yes.
This is such a cool way to give our kids a memoir of our lives.
Capture all their stories in a book, the whole family.
Ms. Werner, looking at the third paragraph, it says discipline is the initial responsibility of the teacher. Is that correct?
Yes,
You agree with that?
it says that.
Let's look at the next page. The boxed behaviors. You spoke about that with the jury a while ago. And Ms. Werner, student behaviors on the left is possession of a weapon. Do you see that?
Yes,
And the next steps are secure students and ensure safety. Did you do that when you got a report that JT might have a weapon?
I did not.
And the next step is 2, immediate notice to administrator. Did you yourself notify an administrator?
Amy Kovac did.
I'm asking.
I did not myself.
Did not yourself. Mr. Werner, the jury's heard a fair amount about your physical damages from your treating doctors the last couple of days. You eventually resigned from the Newport News Public Schools, is that correct? And you worked for a few months at a gym, Burn Boot Camp, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you and your sister Hannah also worked out there pretty frequently, is that right?
Beforehand, yes.
Before
January 6th.
you would disagree you were still working out at Burn Boot Camp after?
Oh, I did go work out afterwards when I had started working there at the front desk in the fall of 2023. My doctor had cleared me to do light work, light exercises. So I tried my best to work out the best that I could with the weights. Best I could.
And the jury has heard testimony about your emotional damages, correct? We heard from Dr. Watson today.
Yes.
You started seeing your therapist at Abundant Life regarding emotional problems back in March 2021. Is that correct?
That sounds right.
That was about a year and a half prior to January 6th.
Yes.
And you've been taking an antidepressant daily since 2021.
Yes.
And you told your therapist that you've been diagnosed with depression and anxiety for a number of years. Is that correct?
Yes.
You've been treated for generalized anxiety disorder
Yes.
and a major depressive disorder.
Yes.
And Ms. Zwerner, you felt a lot of stress and burnout from being a teacher. Is that right?
Yes.
And you had also tragically lost your father in June of 2020.
Yes.
And you had worked with Ms. Gonsalves on recovering from PTSD symptoms related to that event, because that's an event you witnessed. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman, can you show the witness only Defense Exhibit 109 at 83?
Let me read it, okay? All right, I know you all have.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to skip just a little bit so I'm not playing the whole court TV because I can get demonetized for that. We're gonna show it. I thought I saw it up on screen here.
And send it to Miss List?
Yes.
You told her that they had a school in Arlington?
Hmm.
Mr. Coleman, can you please show the witness Exhibit 96J?
I don't know what we saw back there.
Message, you let, Odessa's a band, correct?
2 producers, yes.
And you let 2 producers, it's a music show, is that
Yes.
correct? And you let this band or producers know that you were the teacher from Richneck Elementary School, is that correct?
Yes.
And that you'd been to their show in Bristow, Virginia, the night prior?
Yes.
And they're an EDM band, correct?
Yes.
And EDM is an immersive sensory experience where they use strobe lights and visuals during a concert. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you told Odessa that you had had so much fun at their show that you were in awe and hoped to go back again.
Yes.
And then you also told Odessa that you were involved in a long court case from the shooting and asked the band not to repost the message.
Yes.
Because you were trying to keep your personal life out of the media.
Yes.
Ms. Zwerner, you've given interviews about the events at Richneck on numerous occasions, correct?
Yes.
You've been on the Today Show.
Yes.
Your sister's also created a GoFundMe page.
Yes.
There are t-shirt sales that benefit you. Now, Ms. Zwerner, you went to cosmetology school, correct? And that was in January 2024, is that right?
Yes.
And this was something that you had considered for years prior to the events of January 6th, is that correct?
Not realistically.
Mr. Coleman, can you please show the defense exhibit 96B to counsel and to Ms. Zwerner?
I can't see the date. We'll bring that up.
Your Honor, I think the context would help with counsel as well, so we can understand what it's going.
All right. Are you gonna lay some foundation?
Yes.
All
Ms.
right.
Werner, is this a text you sent to?
The Wonder Oven Pro is an 8-in-1 non-toxic air fryer toaster oven. Now with 2 new.
And Rosalie List was a fellow teacher with you, correct?
Yes.
Now, that was on September 11, 2021.
Yes.
And in the text you said, ugh, I'm not ready to teach. If I quit, I'd go to cosmetology school. Is that right?
Yes.
That was a couple years before the events that we're here for today.
Yes.
Ms. Werner, Mr. Coleman, can you please pull up Exhibit 96, P1?
96B, Ms. Douglas.
I think it's just 96, Your Honor. Plain 96.
Text message about cosmetology school
Yeah.
has not yet been
Oh, I'm
finished.
sorry. I thought it had been, yeah. We'll go ahead and pull 96B up. I apologize. I thought it was up. So that was a text that you sent to Miss List a few years before.
Yeah, I think I also joked about stripping as well.
Ms. Werner, I didn't include that text. I didn't include that text. Apologies for getting the numbers wrong, but Mr. Coleman, can you?
I wonder why. She's the defense. She wants to make her look like a bad person. So why pull up that she was going to cosmetology, but she was not going to be a stripper? If it was a joke. I mean, serial. She was making a joke. I guess because she didn't go to try to become a stripper is why it's not being brought up. Not to say there's anything wrong with being a stripper. Don't get me wrong. Not my cup of tea, because people be paying me to put my clothes back on. But it might be if she was working to pay her way through teaching school as a stripper. I mean, it could happen. I wouldn't. Then they could go against her because she's a stripper. I don't want a stripper teaching my kids in class. You know, it's just, it's a catch-22. It's a catch-22.
Can you please pull up Exhibit 96?
Are we admitting 96B?
Yes, admitting it.
Okay.
I have no objection, Your Honor.
All right.
Have you had a chance to look at the text?
Yes.
Is this also a text you sent to Miss List on October 17, 2021?
Yes.
May I move to admit Defense Exhibit 96 and publish to the jury?
Let me see what he's able to bring up there. All right, so that's what you're at. I guess you can't see?
I can't see, no.
Okay, why don't you take a look at that and make sure that's what you want to publish? All right, any objection to those 3 parts of that exhibit?
I just want to make sure, Your Honor, when we're getting these snippets up on our screen that are being shown to the jury, that's not the full document that's been disclosed. So as long as whatever Your Honor's ruling on is just what we're seeing on the screen.
Correct.
Okay.
At this time, and then if you need any follow-up or whatever else you want to, I'll let you redirect.
Understood, just wanted to make sure.
Okay, so we can publish this as shown on my screen.
That's fine.
All right.
Have you had a chance to look at it?
Yes.
And did you find an Aveda school for cosmetology and send it to Miss List?
Yes.
And told her that they had a school in Arlington?
Hmm?
Mr. Coleman, can you please show the witness Exhibit 96J? Ms. Zwerner, is this a text you sent to Ms. List on October 18, 2022?
I'm not sure who I sent it to, but yeah, it's a text I sent.
Okay. It says to Rosalie List. Is that correct?
I can't tell from here.
Can you see?
Yes, I did.
And that's about a year later, correct? The fall before the events that bring us here today.
Yes.
Any objection?
Move to admit it.
Okay. All right. As shown on my screen.
And Ms. Warner, in the text, you told Ms. List that you didn't even know if you wanted to teach anymore, but you didn't want to waste all the money that you had spent going to school. Is that correct?
Yes, I said that.
And you said that you would love to go to cosmetology school.
Yeah.
You went to cosmetology school, correct? About a year after the events that bring us here today.
Yes.
Mr. Coleman, can you please show the witness only and counsel Defense Exhibit 127? Page 3.
She's having a hard time reading.
In the personal background section.
I skipped something I didn't mean to skip.
In the personal background section. Can we publish to the jury, Your Honor?
That meet your.
Your Honor, again, I don't understand the relevancy of all of this, but.
Your responses to relevance.
Ms. Werner has told the jury that she can't use her hand and she's become a cosmetologist. Clearly, this is relevant.
Okay, I'll allow it. Overruled.
Ms. Werner, I'm looking at the personal background section. Question 4.
This part-time job at gym.
Ms. Werner, in that question you were asked, is there anything that might prevent you from achieving your dream of starting or completing school, meaning cosmetology school, correct?
Yes.
And your response was part-time job at gym.
Yes.
Mr. Coleman, can we move to page?
My thought on that one would be she probably filled out the application prior to, because if she was thinking about going to cosmetology school a year before the incident, she probably filled out the application long before the incident. And then didn't even think about what she had put on there to answer that question when she decided to go ahead and send in the application.
Pages 20 to 22 of the same records. Focus on page 21, 21, and that is physical requirements of the industry. May we publish the heading physical requirement of the industry to the jury?
Any specific objection to that, besides your continuing to relevance?
Judge, I would object to this based on hearsay in the document.
All right, you have a response to that?
It's not offered for the truth of the matter. She certified that she had no issues with these. and that these are
She's
fine.
identified the document itself, so I think she's familiar with it. I'm gonna overrule the objection.
Ms. Zwerner,
If you read, I guess you need to, I will say, you need to lay a little bit more foundation as to this page. She wrote the other pages. This is not her writing, so.
we can jump ahead and then come back. Let's go to page 22, and I think that will take care of the issue.
All right.
Mr. Coleman, can you go to page 22? Ms. Zwerner, do you see page 22 with your signature on it? Is that your signature?
Yes.
Can we publish that to the jury?
I'll overrule it that that is her signature, and she signed that she understood the agreement. All right.
Go ahead and pull up the signature. Okay. Jury's looking at it now. Ms. Werner, that's your signature on this document, correct?
Yes.
And if you go back to the prior page, it discusses the physical requirements of the industry. On page 21, we'll go back to that.
Yes.
When you signed the document, you acknowledged the physical requirements of the industry of cosmetology. Is that correct?
Yes.
And let's go through them. The first one is arm-hand steadiness, the ability to keep your hand and arm steady while moving your arm or while holding your arm and hand in one position. You not acknowledge that you were able to do that, correct?
Yes, I signed the document.
Second one is manual dexterity, the ability to quickly move your hand together with your arm or your hand to grasp, manipulate, or assemble objects. You signed that as well, correct?
Yes.
Finger dexterity, the ability to make precisely coordinated movements of the fingers of one or both hands to grasp, manipulate, or assemble very small objects. You acknowledge that as well.
Yes.
Trunk street, the ability to use your abdominal and lower back muscles to support part of the body repeatedly or consciously over time without giving out or fatiguing. You acknowledge that.
Okay, that's all we got to go. There's no more. But, okay, we already saw this part where she said that she thought she died. Okay, so we don't need to replay that. All right, so we don't know yet. There could be more. They'll probably go tomorrow to court. Tomorrow, Friday? Yeah, probably go to court tomorrow as well. Because they expect this trial to last about 2 weeks. So, what do you think? Do you think she should receive the $40,000 because the vice principal did not cover her and keep her protected after she was notified about the child with the firearm? Or do you think that she should have herself done hearsay and say, well, so-and-so told me that so-and-so that TJ has this? I believe that procedures were handled in the proper way. They got a hold of the administrator. They got a hold of the vice principal. The teacher had gone to talk to the vice principal, but it wasn't this teacher. It was the teacher that was notified of the firearm. I think everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. And I think where they were going with I'm sad that we couldn't find the rest of the testimony, but I can understand if she's right-handed and if she can get, okay, you can comb the hair with your right hand and then this one. You can comb the hair with your right hand and then hold it with your fingers with your left hand and do the cutting. Okay, so she's not hindered as much. She might have thought she wouldn't be hindered from being able to do this type of job. Because if she can hold her hand in this position, she can get hair between here, and she can cut the hair. That's what I'm thinking. So, and I saw one spot where somebody was up there and had a hold of her hand to see what position her hand was actually held in. I don't know where that video went. I wasn't able to look into it. All I could see was a small clip. I think it was a short, a YouTube short or something. So anyway, I'll keep an eye on this case and we'll see where else it's going to go. But I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out. Do something nice for someone, even if it's just be the reason that they smile, and search for Christ. I'll see you tomorrow.